me and my wife, though, we've been married for 13 years. She's witnessed my best and my worst. Not sure what my best is yet, but I know my worst. I'll share. So I was getting ready for work. She comes in the bedroom. I had already successfully got my left foot through my underwear, and I'm going to get the right foot in, and I look like I am kickstarting a dirt bike. I apologize for the disturbing visual that some of y'all just experienced. That may cause you to lose sleep tonight, but that is how married life works. But we worked through that, still going strong, and thankful for it. You know, actually, when we got married, we only knew each other for 4 months. Anybody get married in less than 4 months? Oh, we got, how long?
10 weeks.
10 weeks. Wow, you guys are a tender story of a lifetime. I mean, no, that's beautiful, 10 weeks. Kudos, y'all, that has topped us out at 4 months. Well, let me tell you, with 4 months, a lot of people don't realize that, that's just a little bit longer than it takes to grow a watermelon. So, put a lot of thought into that life decision. But I don't want you to think I jumped the gun about everything. We did wait 6 months before we bought a new couch. Because a couch, that's a lifelong investment, you know? Don't want to get stuck with a lousy one. You know, in 13 years, you hope to have the same spouse, but you know you're going to have the same couch, so choose wisely. Those of you clapping still have the couch, so congratulations to y'all. But no, we were very blessed. My parents have been married for over 40 years. My wife's parents have been married for over 40 years. My grandparents were married for almost 70 years. And yeah, beautiful. I mean, they showed me the value of commitment because they had the same couch the whole time. It was awesome. But people ask why we moved so quick. Well, I tell you why. She didn't have profile on eHarmony. The reason why that's important is because I had put a profile on eHarmony because we all need regrets. And so it said, fill out this survey. We'll send you a list of people you're compatible with. So I got this email that said, due to your answers, you're not compatible with anyone. But I'm a positive guy, so I was just like, you know what? It's not a high demand for someone that describes himself as hardworking and strong-built with childbearing hips. This guy just looked and he's like, you know, he has childbearing hips now that he mentions it. But in the 13 years we've been married, we've actually only come close to one argument. I'm very thankful for that. It actually started because I was asleep. So I'm asleep. I roll over onto my back and I started snoring so loud it kind of woke me up. You know, I'm still asleep, but I can think. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to get any rest. I'm snoring so loud. I wish she'd wake me up. And then I feel her hand, find me in the darkness. I'm like, thank goodness, this is about over. And then, bam, she shoved her fingers down my throat. Some of y'all are thinking, is that an option? No, it's not, okay? So as I'm trying to fight loose from this death grip, my life flashes before my eyes. And I'm like, wow, I go to Chick-fil-A a lot. Makes you put things in perspective. So I finally get loose and I look over at her. I'm ready to have the argument. And she's asleep. She tried to kill me in her sleep. So after realizing what she's capable of, I'm like, I want to keep her happy. And date nights. That's how you do it, folks. You got to go on dates. And I've realized the longer that you're married, date night's just kind of going out and buying stuff you already need. And I was talking to a salesperson the other day, and I was like, how much laundry will that thing hold? He's like, sir, that is a kitchen table. 1 load, 2 loads? I mean, give me an answer. Now, actually, favorite place to go shopping is Dollar General. Yeah, it's a romantic place. But love going to Dollar General. I find comfort in knowing if I go in a Dollar General and they don't have what I need, I can just leave and go next door to the other Dollar General. And it's going to be laying on the floor. And I just have much respect for a company when you go in there and like, hey, I need a key to your restroom, and they hand you a nunchuck. I'm like, all right. See, that laughter lets me know that that is national. I mean, and Tennessee's not the only one handing out nunchucks. Glad to know they're doing that here in Utah as well. But here's the other thing I give them much props about. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the economy. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world around us. Dollar General's like, we have a plan and we're sticking with it. We will have 2 people at work at all times. They have one person on the register and the other one's on a smoke break. So we've been doing life together now 13 years. It's been a fun experience. We started a church in Tennessee about 10 years ago that we still pastor. And the church is called New Mercy United Pentecostal Church. And before you ask, no, I don't have any snakes with me, okay? That is just one documentary out there. I don't know why we all got labeled. But so we've been thinking, though, rebranding, giving ourselves a different name, something that will draw in a crowd, and really leaning toward First Baptist because they kill it in the South, It's the last time I make a joke about a Baptist because I nearly lost my footing and fell right off the stage. And if I do, you catch me. Let's just turn it to crowd surfing at that moment. But so here was the thing, though. We learned to work with what we have. Me and my wife, we were not musicians when we started off. And so the way we did our worship songs at the church was we would find those YouTube videos that had the songs and the lyrics. But if you want to mess up a good song, let an ad pop up for the next Fast and Furious. I also do a thing called Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and it kind of gives me a chance to go into school and preach to the kids, pray with the kids. And we had a really neat thing happen just the other day, baptized a bunch of kids after football practice. That was pretty awesome. And so I was taking the tank back to the church and had it on the back of the truck. And even though we just had this amazing moment, I was still battling with those insecurities and those thoughts. And I was like, does this community just know how much we care? And I'm just thinking about these things. And I had a lot of time to think about it because I was having to drive so slow. I didn't want the tank falling off the truck. And as I'm pulling into the parking lot, this car that had been behind me for several miles just starts blowing the horn. And I look in my rearview mirror and they're screaming and waving their hand out the window. I think they're saying you're number 1. And I was just like, they know we care. Talk about encouraging, so I just blew the horn back and waved. But it's been fun, because we want to make a difference. We want to leave things better than we found it. And we're just living in some crazy times. Government's just throwing money at all sorts of stuff. And I'm thinking, how can we just throw away so much money? Because we're running out of physical cash, folks. I know this. Several times I've gone to the ATM and it says insufficient funds. We got to take care of America. And but it's the thing I would love to see us go back to. If we're wanting to just give money away, let's go back to the stimulus checks. I'm a fan of those, Yeah, woo. And I don't want to give the wrong impression. All right, let me clarify. I don't have to have a lot of money thrown at me, okay? I just want to get to a place financially. I can see a couch on the side of the road and just not look back at it. Because I got to set goals. I'm 38 years old, so I got to have some goals. Did find out one thing the other day. I am considered a millennial. Any other millennials in the group? It's got a few. Woo! Right up front. All right, yeah. So I can't say I was too excited on the front end when I found out that I was millennial because, there's that stereotype of complaining and whining and all that. And I'm a positive guy. But then I found something that made it all worthwhile. I found a place called the Millennial Medical Clinic. I was like, this is great. I have somewhere I can go when I get my feelings hurt. And somebody else will pay for it. That's even better. And being 38 too, I have friends that are younger, so they have energy and they want to go do stuff. And so they'll call me up, hey man, let's go hang out, let's go do something. You know, and being a pastor, I don't want to lie to them and come up with some excuse. And just being, you know, their friend, I don't want to just be like, no. So this is what I've done. I named my couch Work. And I just tell them, yeah man, I'll be there if I can get off work.